Hi, so my name is Latanya Young, and I'm going to be chronicling my life through a YouTube channel called Y'all Stay Safe Out There. Primarily because I didn't always feel safe. I didn't feel safe to take risk. I didn't feel safe when it came to being able to speak for myself or tell people what I wanted, whether that be in my intimate personal relationships. You're going to see me talk about that too as I go on this entrepreneur journey because all of that stuff is going to keep me from leveling up because it's going to be still tied to the old story of who I am versus the new story that I'm creating. And for a lot of us, we don't realize that in order for us to change, we have to feel safe. And number one, the fact that we know for sure that we have ourselves. And oftentimes, the reason we don't take risk is because we're not really sure if we have us 100%. And so that lack of safety is the reason that we stay stuck. So when I say things like y'all be safe out there, I really am talking about the initial safety that you've created within yourself that allows you the opportunity to actually become a risk taker. Because in my opinion, people that take risk have confidence, they have trust in the process, but all of that goes back to the initial idea of safety. So this year is going to be filled with me taking a lot of risks because I feel safe to do so. I don't feel like I'm tied to societal norms when it comes to beauty standards, when it comes to the idea that because you've lived a certain story thus far, that you are limited in being able to change that narrative and change the trajectory of your legacy, whatever that legacy going to look like for you. That is something that I want to share with you because I feel we often are tied so tightly to those stories that we have systematically lived out and haven't created. So up to this point, I have lived out a story that was not mine. It was a story that was predicated on expectations and rules that I had no say so in, ideologies that I just went along with because that's what you're supposed to do. But what I realized really quickly is what I'm supposed to do is feel safe in the fact that if I take a risk, even if that risk doesn't pan out, I still have me because I have built up in myself the capacity of being able to trust and have the confidence that regardless of what situation I'm ever put in, that I'm going to always land on all fours or all twos, depending on how you want to look at it, right? So the first thing that I'm doing in this journey is really dissecting those gray areas around myself that need to be addressed. I need to come to terms with no one is coming to save me, and that is what's going to carry me. My kids are not going to save me. My future husband won't save me. Ultimately, it's the me right now that has built up the capacity of feeling safe enough to take a risk because I know 100% I am never going to let myself falter because I have a plan and have a vision and have the implementation to do it. So I'm really excited about this journey. And if any of this resonated with you, and it doesn't even have to be around entrepreneurship, it can be something simple as like, I really have been struggling with trying to be consistent at the gym. And a lot of it is because we haven't built up the confidence and capacity in ourselves to feel safe enough to be like, no, this is a risk that I actually want to take. The risk of going to the gym every day. And that risk is associated with giving something else up, right? It's going to be either your sleep or your eating habits that you've acquired over a long period of time. It could also be the fact that you might have to shift your schedule. And so you're used to doing things a certain way. And so, once again, it goes back to, do you believe if you take that risk by shifting all these things, implementing a plan, implementing a system, that if anything happens, that you'll be able to be successful in the end? So, I think ultimately the question is, do you trust yourself? And if you don't trust yourself, ask yourself why. Is it because you're living a story someone told you should live, thus creating it? And so, because you're living a lie, essentially, because it's not the story that you actually want in your life, you don't trust that you'll be able to undo that lie and create a truth that will give you better purpose and fulfillment, right? And it doesn't have to be money. Some people, like myself, know that I'm no longer interested in trading my time for money. And I want my money to work with me, and I want to be able to be intentional with my time so that I can free up the time that I want to do the things that I find pleasurable, like spending time with my family, going shopping, traveling, doing things with my partner. Because when you don't have the capacity to be able to allow your money to work for you versus you working for it, right? That creates also a narrative that this is it and you can never get off the wheel. But in order to get off the wheel, you have to be able to take a risk. And once again, risks are scary. So if you don't trust yourself and feel confident in the fact that if you jump off this wheel, there will be a plan that you can implement in place, then you don't feel safe to do that. So once again, it goes back to this idea of you'd rather feel safe in the lie, right, than create safety in the truth. That's it. So I hope you got something from this. I'm going to vlog every day and just talk. But yeah, day one of my entrepreneur journey.